The dream of owning a home in Israel for older immigrants may be just that, a dream, but not reality. A new report has recently been released which reveals that newcomers over the age of 55 face home-buying obstacles in the form of discrimination. Earlier, I discussed the problem with Chayim Friedman, the managing director of First Israel Mortgage.
We recently had a situation where a couple from Los Angeles who wanted to make aliyah, they were 68 years old, wanted to buy a property in central Jerusalem. And in order for them to get into that property, they needed a 20-year loan so that the rent that they could receive from the property would cover the loan, the mortgage payments every month, and that way they would be able to come in 2 or 3 years when they decided to make the move. The problem was that because of their age, even though they were qualified on paper, the banks would not lend them on a 20-year loan term. The maximum that they were offered was a 7-year loan term, which would make the payments extremely, extremely unaffordable for them. Because of that, they were planning on not going through with the purchase. Thank God we were able to obtain for them the loan that they needed. They ended up getting a 30-year loan. However, it was a very difficult process, and not every situation would be able to be resolved in that way.
Some financial institutions also require that older people buy an additional insurance policy. They may already have a policy in the United States or Britain or wherever, but they make them buy an Israeli policy, which also is quite expensive, which sometimes prohibits them from going through with the loan.
Correct. In fact, even at certain ages, this is part of the problem. At certain ages, a person cannot receive life insurance. They won't be granted, and the insurance companies don't write policies at that age. So it does prevent people from getting into that house because the banks kind of want to be covered with the life insurance policy with them as the beneficiary in case, God forbid, something happens to the person. However, the person can't get a policy, so it's kind of a catch-22 for them.
What can be done to combat what is pretty obviously age discrimination?
Well, the banks here are being cautious. You know, the pensions in Israel and there's a lot of elderly people in Israel that are in poverty, unfortunately. The statistics are such that people are not necessarily well provided for in their older years, in their golden years. However, there are nooks and crannies within the system. The system is very fragmented. So you can have banks that will do it, banks that won't do it. If you know the system well, the banks are willing to negotiate, and people can get the loans that they need. It's just a much more difficult process.
Now, a report has been done. How do people get a hold of that report?
The report is going to be published in a few avenues. It's going to be, I believe, in the Jerusalem Post real estate supplement in November in the magazine. It'll probably also appear online.
I'm Friedman, Managing Director at First Israel Mortgage. It's been good to talk with you.
Thank you very much.